was a time when you weren't just another face, when people knew your story, not because they read it somewhere, but because they lived beside it, back when a handshake meant something, and a front porch light meant you were welcome. There was a little town at the edge of nowhere, where the roads knew every tire, where the old men sat outside the diner, talking about the days gone by. Everybody knew your father's truck, everybody knew your mother's smile, everybody knew when you were hurting, even if you hid it for a while. The barber knew your whole life story, the waitress knew your favorite drink, the preacher knew your biggest battles before you ever had to speak. I left that town chasing something bigger, thought the world was calling my name, packed my dreams into an old suitcase and drove away from everything. I found crowded streets and tall buildings, but somehow felt more alone. Funny how you can stand among millions and still wish you were back home. Nobody asked about your family, nobody cared where you had been, nobody noticed when you were struggling, nobody knew the man within. I spent years trying to become somebody, and realized I was already somebody to them. I miss where everybody knew your name, where your past didn't scare nobody away, where your mistakes were just stories and your scars were proof you stayed, where a stranger could become a brother and a neighbor would lend a hand, where people loved you for your heart, not for what you had. I chased a life that looked like freedom, but lost a place that felt like home. Now every highway that I travel reminds me what I've known. I miss where everybody knew your name. I went back after many years just to see what remained. The old gas station was gone, but I still remember the lane. The playground looked a little smaller, the streets weren't as wide as before, but somehow that old hometown feeling was waiting at the door. Mama's old house had new curtains, the porch still caught the evening sun, and I realized some places never forget where you're from. Now I teach my children stories about the people who raised me right, about neighbors who showed up when somebody was losing the fight. I tell them money isn't everything, and success ain't always gold. Sometimes the richest thing you'll ever have is someone who knows your soul. Maybe we spend our whole lives running, trying to prove we can stand alone, but every heart needs somewhere that feels like coming home, a place where your name means something, a place where your story is known, a place where somebody notices when you don't make it home. I miss where everybody knew your name, where your past didn't scare nobody away, where your mistakes were just stories and your scars were proof you stayed, where a stranger could become a brother and a neighbor would lend a hand, where people loved you for your heart, not for what you had. I chased a life that looked like freedom, but lost a place that felt like home. Now every highway that I travel reminds me what I've known. I miss where everybody knew your name. I went back after many years just to see what remained. The old gas station was gone, but I still remember the lane. The playground looked a little smaller, the streets weren't as wide as before, but somehow that old hometown feeling was waiting at the door. Mama's old house had new curtains, the porch still caught the evening sun, and I realized some places never forget where you're from. Now I teach my children the stories about the people who raised me right, about neighbors who showed up when somebody was losing the fight. I tell them money isn't everything, and success ain't always gold. Sometimes the richest thing you'll ever have is someone who knows your soul. Maybe we spend our whole lives running, trying to prove we can stand alone, but every heart needs somewhere that feels like coming home. A place where your name means something, a place where your story is known, a place where somebody notices when you don't make it home. I miss where everybody knew your name, where love didn't come with conditions, where people saw your heart first before they judged your decisions, where every door was open and every goodbye wasn't the end, where broken people found healing, strangers became friends. I traveled across this whole country looking for something I couldn't find. Then I realized the greatest treasure was waiting there the whole time. Back where everybody knew your name. Some places don't just know your name, they remember